Point 6, word problems. First up, the library is having a book sale. Yay! Hardcover books sell for $4 each. Paperback books sell for $2 each. If Connie spends $26 for 8 books, how many of each kind of book did she buy? Now, this kind of goes along with knowing what context your problems are in. We are working with 2 equations and 2 unknowns. So chances are, since it is 1.6 word problems, we're going to set up a system of 2 equations and 2 unknowns. All right, that's kind of how these work. They're really not super slick about how they go about things like that, okay? Let me get my color set up here because I got a lot of arrows. There we go. Oh, let's do one more. How about a yellow? There we go. All right. So, first thing you look for with word problems with this section is your variables, okay? I always use X and Y. Okay? And typically, that's way too far to the left. Hold on. Whoa. Typically, too, where you can find what your variables you're working with is the last sentence. Okay? How many books, or how many of each kind of book did she buy? What are our 2 kinds of books? Hardcover and paperback. Okay, so you pick. X can be one, Y can be the other. I always go in order of the problem. All right, whatever shows up in the problem first is what I put for my X. So hardcover shows up first. And paper shows up second. Let's go hardcover books. Paperback books. All right. Now, the rest of the equations come from the problem. Hardcover books sell for $4 each. Paperback books, $2 each. Connie spends $26 on 8 books. So from there, somewhere, you have 2 equations to write, because that's what you're working with. 2 equations, 2 unknowns. How many books did she buy? 8, right? It says 8 books right there. Now, X represents the hardcover books, Y represents the paperback books, and she bought 8 books. So you got an equation from that. What is it? If X is representing my hardcover books, and Y is representing my paperback books, and I bought 8 books total, how can I write an equation with that? Too much. Too much stuff. How about just the amount of hardcover books plus the amount of paperback books equals 8 books. Right? If each one of those is how many books, X is hardcover books, Y is paperback books, and then she bought 8 books total. Okay, so you got one about the amount of books. Do what?
Did you multiply it?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Now, we got one with the 8 books. Now we need one with the money, right? Okay, so how much is each hardcover book? $4. Okay. How much is each paperback book? $2. How much did she spend total? $26. So, let's just ignore that for now, okay? Let's just say hardcover books. All right, if she bought 1, how much did she spend? $4. If she bought 2, how much? $8. If she bought 3, how much? $12. What am I doing? Multiplying. 4 times however many books. Now, do we know what kind of books? We know what kind, hardcover. Do we know how many she bought? No, because we're representing that with X, our variable, right? So then we have 4X plus, same way with the paperback, right? But paperbacks are how much? $2, so 2y. And she spent how much total? 26. There you go. There's your two equations. That's what you need. All right. Now, the word problems, whenever you do them, I don't tell you which way you should solve. Whether you should solve by substitution or whether you should solve by elimination. I don't tell you. You get to pick. Okay? Typically, everybody goes with elimination. All right, I will say that. Typically, everybody goes elimination. All right, so let's do that. What variable you want to get rid of? X? Cool. So then let's multiply the top equation by -4 to get rid of x's. Bringing that down. Which gives you -4x minus 4y equals -32. Add them up. -2y equals what? -6, right? Which means divide by -2. So y equals 3. And then you go back to the top. X plus 3 equals... Oh, I'm on the edge. Can't tell that with a black background. X plus 3, there we go, equals 8. Subtract 3, so x equals 5. Okay. Now, since they are word problems, here's what I expect from you guys. Since they are word problems, I don't necessarily want to see them in an ordered pair. I want to see you write out the answer. Okay, so if the question is how many of each kind of book did she buy? She bought 5 hardcover, 3 paperback. That was a terrible K. Let's try that again. There we go. I'm not expecting complete sentences and punctuation and common exclamation points, okay? But do write out what you're answering the question to, okay? And that's 1. iTunes offers individual songs for one price or entire albums for another. Kendrick pays $14.90 to download 5 songs and 1 album. Jeffrey pays $21.75 to download 3 songs and 2 albums. How much does iTunes charge for an album and a song? What are your variables? Nope, just the variables. X, what's it representing? Songs. And then Y represents what? Album. See? How much does iTunes charge for one song, an album, and a song? Right there. Very end of the problem. Alright, that's where your variables come from. Alright, now what are your equations? You got one from Kendrick and you got one from Jeffrey. 5x plus y equals 1490. And then Jeffrey's is what? 3x plus 2y equals 2175. And there's your equations. Okay? Moving over here. Everybody understand how you get that? Everybody see how you get that? From there, how do you want to solve it? Substitution, elimination, doesn't matter. Elimination, okay. Substitution. Honestly, this one I kind of like substitution with. All right, you got less you got decimals, which you can be kind of messy whenever you're doing elimination. All right, so since you have those decimals for the money on the right side, I would almost do this one substitution, so that's what I'm going to show you guys, just so we get some substitution practice also. So you subtract the 5x over, so y equals negative 5x plus 14.9. You don't need that extra 0 since you're doing the math to it now, you know. And then that expression goes in for that y. Alright, so we got 3x plus 2 times negative 5x plus 14.9, which equals 21.75. I'm so going to run out of space. So then you get 3x minus 10x plus, oh, hold on, 8, 9, 29.8, is that right? Anybody there yet? Double check that. That should, I think that's right, but not for sure. Does it? Good. Equals 21.75. Running out of room. Everybody good with what's up there? At least as far as the equations go, yeah? Let me see what I got. Alright, check me out. Watch this. Alright, so we got negative 7x equals negative, I think it's 8.05, is that right? Okay, and I'm going to stop right there. Now, realize what you're working with. Okay? You are working with real life stuff. Okay? Real life things. Can you have a negative amount of songs? No. You can't say, yeah, I bought negative 5 songs yesterday. It's not a thing. Alright? So right here, when you have these double negatives, let's say one of them you just forgot about. Let's say this one over here you forgot about. And then when you divide by the negative 7, you get a negative number as an answer. You should know right away that you mess up someplace. It may be just small like that. Okay? But that should be a red flag going off in your head that you made a boo-boo somewhere, because I can't have a negative amount of songs. Alright? So just be aware of that. So you divide by 7, x equals 115. 1.15. Alrighty. Take that number back to the top, plug her in. Get y equals negative 5, 1.15 plus 14.9. So y equals negative 5 point, that was a terrible 5. Negative 5.75 plus 14.9, which gives you y equaling $9.50. Okay, the perimeter of a rectangle is 56 centimeters. The length of the rectangle is 2 centimeters more than the width. Find the dimensions. There's a rectangle, right? It's a pretty rectangle. Look at that. Okay? Rectangles have 2 dimensions. One's the length, one's the width, right? Alright, so you just set them up same way. X is my, let's say, length. And Y, I'm running out of space again. This black background's trippy. Whoops. And Y is my width. Now, there is a tricky part to this problem, so I want to see what you guys come up with. Write the equations. Okay, think them through before you write them down, though. Okay, the length is, whoops, X. The width is Y, right? How many lengths are there, though, in a rectangle? 2. So how many X's do you have? 2. 2X plus, same for your y's, 2y equals 56. All right? Because you got, there we go. Because you got this length and this length, which is 2 lengths. You got this width and this width, which is 2 widths. Add them all up, it's 56. Make sense? All right. Second sentence, the length of the rectangle is 2 centimeters more than the width. So which side is longer, the length or the width? The length, right? The length is typically the one that's longer, all right? So length is longer. So the length is longer than the width. By how much? 2. So we got to take 2 and add it onto our width before it equals our length. So x equals 2 plus y. Because you got to take 2 and add it onto your width to make it equal the same as your length. All right? Sense? Now, clearly, this one you should what? Substitute or eliminate? Substitute. You got an x equals in there, substitute. It's set up for you. Put that in there. All right? Yeah, and then go. So you got 2, parentheses 2 plus y. Oops, too soon. Plus 2y equals 56. Four plus 2y plus 2y equals 56. 4 plus 4y equals 56. 4y equals 52. Which means y equals, what, 13? Is that right? Which means x equals what? If y is 13, that means x equals 15. All right, here we go. I'm going to read the whole problem. Ready? The Althoff Catholic High School Drama Club is putting on a performance of 12 Angry Jurors. There are 2 different types of tickets sold in advance of the show to avoid congestion in the hallway the night of the show. The cost of 8 adult tickets and 7 children's tickets is $82.45. The cost of 6 adult tickets and 9 children's tickets is $78.15. The show is expected to run for 3 days and is rumored to be very, very good. Find the cost of a single adult and single child ticket. Whew. Now, I put this problem here for a very good reason, which I'm very impressed with you guys of how everybody wrote these equations. You guys did a good job. Okay? That's a lot of what I call fluff. Okay? A lot of fluff to that problem. A lot of unnecessary stuff. It's a cool story. A lot of unnecessary things. First sentence. The Althoff Catholic High School Drama Club is putting on a performance of 12 Angry Jurors. That's fantastic. Do we really care, though? Not really. Okay? Unnecessary. Fluff. All right. There are 2 different types of tickets sold in advance of the show to avoid congestion in the hallway the night of the show. Okay? Now, there's a small piece of information in there that's good. All right? There's 2 different types. Okay, that's great. But do we know what kinds of types from that sentence? No. Do we care that they're trying to avoid congestion in the hallway? No. Fluff. Whoops. Now we're getting to some good stuff. The cost of 8 adult tickets and 7 children's tickets is $82.45. Now we're there. Oh, children. Wrong word. I'm struggling with this today, ain't I? Kids. Cool. So 8 adults, 7 kids, gives you $82.45. Next sentence, the cost of 6 adults and 9 children, $78.15. The show is expected to run for 3 days. Now, what I was wondering if you guys would catch on is if this number was relevant. Irrelevant. You don't care how many days it runs. 2, 3, 5, 17. Who cares? All right. And it's rumored to be very, very good. Spoiler alert. It was really, really good. Do we care, though, for the problem? Fluff! Find the cost of a single adult, single child ticket. That's how I want you guys to go through, okay? You don't have to do the markings out, all right? Maybe a little excess, but at least think about it that way, okay? Now, when you have one like this is probably one of your more harder ones. Yes, I would imagine so. You have 8x 7y equals 82.45. 6x 9y equals 78.15. This is where I want you guys to start getting better. Obviously, you're going to do this one elimination, okay? No way you're going to try to substitute with decimals and it'll be nasty. This one you got to do elimination. This is one where I want you guys to start getting better about the numbers you're choosing to use, though. All right, there's one like this. I'm going to make the system just a little bit smaller so I can write off to the right with it, okay? So it's going to shrink down just a little bit. That's all, just like that. All right? I'm not even going to ask, I'm just going to tell you. You should eliminate your x's here. That's what you should do, okay? You should eliminate your x's. All right? And there's a number that 8 and 6 both go into that you should make them. What is it? They both go into. Not number goes into it. 24. Very good, Iva. 24. Okay? Not 48. All right? Now, if you do 48, obviously you'll still get there. Your number's bigger. Okay? Trying to keep these as small as possible for you guys. All right? But you can do the top one by 3. And the bottom one by -4. And keep your numbers somewhat tame. All right? So let's see here. That'll be 24x plus 21y equals, hold on, 247.35. Your bottom one goes -24x, the minus 36y, then it equals, let's see here, 78.15 times -4, -312.6. Okay. Which leaves you with -15y. My 5s are struggling today. Holy cow. Equals -65.25. Okay. Notice how they're both negative, right? Which is a good sign because the answer needs to be positive. Divide by -15. Y equals $4.35. Take that back in, one of them, doesn't matter which one, 8x plus 7 times 4.35 equals 82.45. You get 8x plus 30.45 equals 82.45. Which gives you what, 8x 52. X equals 6.5. So put that in money. Write it out. Adult, $6.50. A kid or a student ticket, whatever you want to use, $4.35. Your homework tonight, let me see what's here. Yeah, I can show you that. Let's see, your homework is, I hope it's up. Maybe I didn't put it up yet. I didn't put it up yet. Your homework's on Schoology. It is that worksheet right there. Okay, 1.6 worksheet with word problems. I believe it's got 10 questions. Some are substitution, some elimination, and some word problems. This is due on Thursday. Okay, I'll even write that up here. Hold on. Check this out. Due Thursday. What do you got tomorrow? Quiz. Over 1.4 to 1.5. Okay? If you need help, please come see me tomorrow morning. Alright? You guys are my only quiz tomorrow. Okay? I'll have honors in here doing some harder questions, but they can kind of be on their own and I can only help them just a little bit. You guys are my only quiz tomorrow. Please take advantage of it, alright?